Good morning and welcome to the new media show. My name is Todd Cochrane. Of course, I want to welcome my co-host, Mr. Rob Greenleee. Good morning, Rob. How are you?
Good morning, Todd. It's great to be here doing our show on our second most popular day of the week of doing the new media show, and that's on Sunday.
Yes, absolutely. And we're largely it was because two things: International Podcast Day yesterday,
Yep,
and
yep,
I had to have a child at soccer at 7 a.m.
yep. That'll interfere, that's for sure. But that's far more important than doing this show. So yeah, we
So
can do it anytime, right?
yeah, and then I was running around with my like a chicken with my head cut off yesterday. And so anyway, but yeah, good. Pretty good. I think the International Podcast Day went real well. The guys were exhausted as always when they wrapped up at 30 hours, but anybody would be if you'd been taking cat naps that whole time. So,
Yeah, I
um,
was thinking about inviting Dave to join us to do a um, post, kind of game recap on it, but I figured he was probably too exhausted to do such a thing.
yeah. And Steve is officially retired. He has officially retired.
Oh,
But I don't know if
wow.
he's retired from. He says he's retired, but that I'm like, dude, you're a podcaster. You can't retire.
Yeah, that's right. How difficult is to pull a microphone up? It's not like you're out digging ditches or something.
Yeah, but Dave and the team did a great job, and they had to run through some hoops because their service that they were using, Fire Talk or somebody like that, basically pulled the plug on them. Like a
Oh,
week beforehand, said, "Oh, that what you guys did last year, that's no longer available." And they had to do it on Hangouts, but they didn't want people to have to refresh the page all the time. So they had a guy basically uh, had a plug-in that they needed modified, and they paid to have it modified. So um, that's how they were able to do it and do different Hangouts. And then they learned a lot about doing consecutive Hangouts one after the other and
hmm.
basically getting them queued up. And it has a timeout feature. You can't just schedule them in advance and expect it to work. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Interesting.
you click on that link, on a Hangout link, and it kills it. It thinks you've had your meeting. So anyway, they had their hands full, but they pulled it off. But I think they had to jump through a lot more hoops than they normally would. Other than that, it was a great event. There was I don't know how much you got to watch, but I bopped in and out here and there for different people, and
Sure.
a lot of good discussions.
Yeah, I popped in a little bit now and then. I was pretty busy. Didn't participate this year, so I booked up a bunch of other stuff I needed to do. So
Yeah, and
um,
you did. So you said you had a reporter call you. Was that in regards to
yeah,
International
the
Podcast Day?
no. It was
Oh,
in regards to the other issue down in L.A. So
oh,
yeah,
oh, oh, oh. Well,
yeah.
what was your? Were you a no comment type of guy?
No, I gave some honest feedback. I gave some comments.
Oh,
It was about the whole work culture down there.
oh,
So
okay. Oh,
yeah, yeah. Oh,
that's not the kind of attention you want when you're getting a reporter from L.A. calling you. Yeah,
yeah. Well,
what is the work culture at your office? And you're like,
yeah,
oh, oh.
yeah.
And in your
Well,
case, your former office.
it just seemed like there needed to be a little bit of sanity applied to the situation. So
Oh,
anyway,
well, good.
yes,
Well,
lawsuits can become a little extreme, if you know what I'm saying.
yeah, and well, never mind. I won't say
Yeah.
anything. Because
Yes, yes, I was more of a neutral voice. I'll just put it that way.
I'm risk adverse when it comes to lawsuits.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
lawsuit
yeah,
can destroy you. It can really, it can, it,
yeah.
it can be bad, and it can suck all the energy out of the room too. So
Well, it's like war, you know. I mean,
yeah,
really, if you think about it, that's kind of what it's like. But anyway, there's other more important things to talk about, I think. So, I saw that the Anchor folks got $10 million for their podcasting platform. Did you see that?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
full. Let me hear the drain. I'm flushing the toilet. $10 million flushed down the toilet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it amazes me that these folks will throw good money after bad. It's well, we'll see what they do with the
So
money.
I see that the Google Ventures guy that was involved in that deal, the general partner was MG Siegler. Wasn't he a long-time tech reporter? I
I
think he
don't know.
was.
Did he get
Yeah.
a position at a VC firm? That's
Uh, Goo- Google Ventures.
oh
He's the general partner at at Google Ventures that did the deal with Anchor.
oh
So
I don't know.
I think he was a writer for TechCrunch or something for
Hmm.
many years.
It's
So
it's an inside baseball thing over there in Silicon Valley. If you've
yeah,
got money before, you get money again, and they think you're going to hit a home run at some point, and it's pretty casual as they fare. But you get a guy like me that comes in and looks for money and say you're too old. Your business model is going to fail. You need to come and bring your team to Silicon Valley. You need
yeah,
to get rid of your older team members and hire all young people. Those are real conversations I had
yeah,
in the valley. You know, you're not going to survive
yeah.
without us. Ha ha ha
Yeah, it's
ha.
all. I mean, with these guys, it's all about the team, and is the team kind of either related or associated with the venture capital company, or are they recommended talent that comes through some sort of relationship that's related to the investors? And a big reason that that happens that way is because if those people come from the world of the venture capitalists, there's a lot more control they have over the employees that work in the startup. So,
Yeah.
there is a reason why that happens. It's like bring in our people or bring in
Hmm.
people that we are familiar with, or people that have done this before and have brought a return to us. So there's a lot of giving up of control and power that happens with big investments like this.
Yeah.
I've been involved in it a couple times now.
I just want nothing to do with it. If someone's
Yeah,
going to invest in my company, it's going to be on my terms, and I'm going to,
yeah,
I'm not going to give up the bank. I'm not going to give up the company. We'll give someone a piece, but there's going to be some rules. There's going to be input from them, obviously, but I don't know. I'm
yeah,
just, and then there's huge pressure. There's huge pressure to succeed. And someone did an
yeah,
article that talked about all these companies that have gotten money in the past, and their typical runway is about 36 months.
yeah,
So the clock is ticking for that team. They got to figure out how to turn 10 million into 30 million, and yeah, and that means having a system. By turning 30 million, that means they've got to have what they got to have a $10 million business, right, per month.
yeah.
I mean per year.
It's gonna
So
it's gonna it's gonna be tough to get there.
yeah,
Let's put it that way. Yeah.
for an
Um,
app, with
yeah,
no business model behind it.
yeah. And it does have a pretty strong connection with Google, so you have to wonder on that one.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
maybe Google's positioning to sweep it up. Who knows?
Yeah. Uh, well, they do have a team working on that project right now. It's doesn't seem to have any connection to Anchor.
Right?
So, but that's not to say that that isn't in the back of the minds of the leadership at Google. So who knows?
Yeah. I
But
just
I did notice, Todd. I don't know if you've noticed it too, but I'm seeing more and more links off of off of Spotify's pages.
I haven't been on Spotify in a long time. So how are they actually linking?
Well, podcasters out there are putting, like a listen icon on their pages.
Really? Did it
That when you
actually?
click, and it goes to a page that's hosted on Spotify.
Okay, so on a website, you click on a link and it takes it to a Spotify landing page. But what about a mobile phone? Does it take you to a landing page in the mobile?
Um, but the caveat here, and that's the next thing. I haven't tried it on the mobile phone. I've only done it on
On a,
you know
in a browser?
on a browser. Um, but how it works is once you go to that page, it lists all the episodes. But then when you click to play on anything, it
Uh
says download the Spotify app.
huh. That's funny. So you're on a web browser from your website. You click to go to the website. It shows the
Yes.
episode. You go to click play, and it says, "Oh no, 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 no! You have to load the app."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh,
That's their solution.
Genius. So what you've
Yeah.
just so what you've just done is you've given up a listen opportunity on your own website by sending someone from your website to Spotify. So how about having a mobile page? When your mobile page loads, it has a Spotify link, and you have an action that launches the Spotify app. Doesn't that make more sense? So that you
Yeah. Here,
don't.
Todd.
But I guess I haven't been in podcasting too long.
No, no. Well, they're they're picking it up, right? It's a step forward. It's not a complete step forward, but they're hopefully getting there. I've seen others do this too. I've seen the Overcast folks do this same type of concept. I'm seeing um, I think the last FM folks are doing the same thing as well,
Right.
where they're creating a page on the web that that links over to their experience in the app.
All right. So someone
So
just sent this to me via in the chat room on Facebook. So that player is that megaphone player is just so ugly. Okay. So you've got a waveform on the player. It's the same freaking waveform for every episode. It looks carbon. Let me just copy this waveform. I'm being a little bit grumpy this morning. Okay, so play
it's
on.
early.
The page, the landing page looks decent. Not a bad deal here. Let me see if I can load this in. We can show everybody that's. I gotta go to
Yeah, I
Facebook.
sent you another link, Todd, to another site that's or a network that's offering the link on their website, so you can see it
All
too.
right, did you send that email or did you send that in
Yeah,
chat? All
I
right,
sent it to email
all right. So
to
let me.
your Geek News.
Aha, I found it. Okay, so we're going to show everyone what this is all about here. So click that, do this, click this. Okay, so let me bring up the screen. All right, so here's the screen. We're on If I Were You. They got this
This is
nice Spotify link there, right? Okay, so
yeah, this is the Headgum Network.
all right, their player's not too bad. So let me go ahead and click that. That takes us over to Spotify. Launches a new tab. Oh, very nice. Very nice landing page. It's sexy. I like it. You know
It's clean.
yeah, it's clean.
It's clean.
Can't complain. They've done a nice job there. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to send a picture of that. So let me capture a picture of that while we're here, so that grab that. Ka-ching. There we go. Now let me go ahead and click on the play button and let's see what kind of action we get here. Play it. Okay, so now it's asking me to open Spotify. So to play this content, you'll need the Spotify app. So let me say about opening Spotify. You gotta be kidding me. Is there Is there a way to play it?
No, there isn't. So it's only metadata.
But
It's kind of like what
th-
Apple's been doing for a long
this is the
time too on the
stupidest
web.
thing I've ever seen. So let me click that again. Let me try this again. They got two places they have it. Listen to the episode. Click play on. It does nothing. That button. I'm looking here. I don't have any other windows open. All right, so let's go back. Is there even a way to sign in to Spotify? No.
I th- yeah, I think it's supposed to launch the app, or it should prompt you to download the app, right? Um, I know that
They'll fix
Apple has been.
they'll fix this.
I mean,
This is stupidity.
Todd, Apple's been doing this too. So we need to be fair that a lot of these big platforms do this. Um, Apple has a web version of everybody's podcast as well, and it doesn't play anything either. They're they're just driving people over to their client or their app experience,
But
and that's what all these guys are doing.
okay, but at least in Apple, I can load iTunes and play. If push comes to shove, I can load iTunes and play if I don't have a because basically that's what it asks you to do if you're on a website and loading. Let's look at the difference here, and maybe I'll prove myself wrong. But the last time I did this, this is how this worked. Let's
Well,
come up.
because I thought I had the Spotify app loaded on my computer here, and it's not even launching that.
So
Let's
I
see
don't
here.
even know if they have a spot. So let's go back. We'll go to the new media show. Let's click on Apple
I
Podcast.
guess.
So I just clicked on Apple Podcast. Let's look here at a. So at least here it's smart enough to say view in iTunes, and
Yeah.
I can open iTunes from my computer. Bada bing, bada boom. iTunes just is opening up, and you guys can't see this screen because I don't have a way of putting it up. And let me see, I'm waiting for it. Let's see if it takes us to that page. I don't want to do a new version. And does it load the
Well, I think
podcast? Oh, it's asking me for my password. Good Lord. Yeah, it
so.
loaded
What's
it. So it loaded the new media show right here.
in
And I can,
in the iTunes app?
in the iTunes app, it loaded the new media show on the
Okay.
browser. And I can right
Yeah.
now, boom, I can play. I'm good. So at least there is a way to get from, let me bring us back here. There's a way to get from a website browser. It's sure, most people don't want to use iTunes, okay? But at least if they come there with a desktop browser, they can at least get to the content. Hopefully, they just play it on the website. Come on, guys. If you have a player on your website, like you want to have them the ability to play the show. That's as if we
Yeah.
load my
I'm, yeah. Todd, my experience here is that I click play on Spotify and nothing happens.
right. Me too. Nothing happens.
I don't have the. I used to have the Spotify app, but I think I uninstalled it. And it should prompt me to download the Spotify app. That's
R-
what it should do, right?
Ryan says he just tried it on his mobile, but it gave me an error.
Yeah.
It wasn't the app. See, here's the problem. Their app. They got maybe this is new and they got the cart before the horse because the app has to have code in it to be aware. When
Correct.
this is the trick we did with subscribe on Android. When you click on that, there's a little piece of code about one 3 lines of code that sends a signal out that says, "Is there a subscribe on Android app available?" And one says, "Oh, yes, I am." So step up, and
Yeah.
it shows it. So their app
Yeah.
is not aware.
It's not. Yeah, it's not aware that there's a click action happening. It's not making a request that either goes to their server to request a download action.
Rob,
Uh,
we screwed up.
yeah, yeah. We did.
You know how much we could bill for this? We said
They
Spotify.
must know it, Todd. They
We
must know it.
we
I mean,
we
there has to be some testing that they do,
we
right?
uh, would you roll this out?
No, I would not. This is
If I'm the head of content in this type of BS works on if Angela wrote something like this, my phone would be on fire.
yeah. Well, I was involved in doing a similar thing back when I was working on Zune because we would link up links
Oh.
the web to launch the Zune client, the Zune player,
And if it was five
and
o'clock in the afternoon, I
it
would.
always worked. It
If
always
it
worked.
was five
Yeah,
o'clock in the afternoon, I would call everyone back to work.
yeah. And
You
this has
know.
been multiple days that it's been doing. I mean, like half of the
Oh.
week.
Oh my God. So we could have. Hey. So what you had to do is you give him a ring. I'm available a couple of days next week. Give him a ring. Say, hey, do you want us to come in? We can fly in, first class. 5-star hotel. And then we'll spend a day with you. $5,000 consulting fee for each Rob and Todd, and we'll get your team squared away. They hate me. They're never gonna let anybody. This.
Well, it's
It's
yeah,
embarrassing. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm just
yeah,
gonna. I have to call it the way it is.
yeah. Well,
And
I think
the page is beautiful. I will admit that they did a nice job, really nice job on the page display. It's perfect.
But Todd, I think you're right. I think there must be a lag time between the development cycle on their client app
Yeah.
and what they did here on the web.
But
They didn't synchronize.
but you
Yeah,
you 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 get that done, and then you send the
yeah,
partners the email. Say, hey, by the way, we have this new cool link. Wait till you see it. You click on play, and if they're in mobile, it's going to launch the app, and your show's going to be right there. Or if they're on your desktop, they're going to take you to Spotify, and they're going to take you to a landing page, and they're going to be able to play your show. Isn't that great?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you do notice there was no download link on that page.
I know exactly. I'm like going,
So,
okay.
so, ladies and
Somebody
gentlemen,
had the intent of having the click action to initiate a download, but
uh,
somehow somebody didn't get it done.
I don't think so. It says play on. If I would expect right here to click
Well,
this, and
that's
it would play.
well, okay. No, it says play on Spotify.
Okay, that's fine. I'm on to open.spotify.com. If I should click on here, and it should play.
Yeah. Okay. I guess you are technically on Spotify.com, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me go to
So,
spotify.com. Now let's go the other way. And I think I have a login over here. Let me bring us back here so I don't give up everything. Please let this be the password. Oh, there's small miracles. Okay, now let's see here. Let's search. Let me search for. Yes, you can add that. Let's see here. All
so
right.
they do have some strings in their code. I'm viewing their website code, and they're using JSON code,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like that the click action per episode strings um, have some different functions in them, and it looks like they haven't been enabled. It says download Spotify, play on Spotify, view on Spotify, and follow on Spotify.
Hmm.
So that link on the episode page that says play on Spotify has different strings that are associated with it, but I'm not seeing any of those strings being activated.
Yeah, I don't have my mobile phone with me. And be honest with you, I've only used Spotify on my mobile device, so I've never. You can't even play stuff on Spotify, I don't think, on their website. Or can you?
Okay, and it does list in the code string. It does list in mobile false,
Well, they do.
use web player false,
Yeah.
is Spotify true, platform desktop. So they basically have turned off that click action script
All right.
to disable listening on mobile and to disable a web player. So it sounds like they have a web player in their plans, but
Well,
they've told the code to turn it off.
their website has. Let's go back to their website. Their website does have a web player, so
Yeah.
you can launch a web player to start listening to music. So they do have something. So what was this?
Yes.
What was the podcast that we were just looking at?
It's the if I were you, if I were you,
So let me. So if
you,
I.
you, not your,
Oh,
you.
if I were
Yeah.
you. Uh, these
That's all
are.
music
It's all
there.
music.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the other show that our one of our Ryan? Where did Ryan sent me? He sent. Oh shoot, I didn't keep that open. Yeah, so I can't even find. What's another podcast that's over there?
Uh, isn't isn't I thought Grammar Girl I thought was over there.
Yeah, you can't even find Grammar Girl. So
You
it's
can't find any podcast at all. Looks like it's all music.
yeah, it's all music on the web-based thing. So, you know, well,
Yeah.
they get some work to do.
Yeah.
That's and and if they're trying, good. But you know, if you're going to roll something out, be prepared to be ridiculed on the new media show if it doesn't really, it's a big company. That's not supposed to happen. You
Yeah.
know.
I mean, this is pretty basic stuff actually. This isn't hard code
Okay,
to
so
write, and it looks like a lot of the code is here. It's just not. It's been turned off.
Dan Frank says,
So,
"Glad I'm watching this week's 3 episode instead of listening. Takes a couple of clicks to get there. I tried a second time and it worked on mobile. Oh, so he did get it to launch on mobile.
oh, he
So,
did.
but
Okay.
here's another thing you can do, Ryan, is kill the double click in the in your and kill the Spotify. Don't have it resident in memory because you loaded it and you got it to load, and maybe the app is dumb and it has to be resident in memory. So if they did, they got work there. But go ahead and kill the app and try it again with the app not. Make sure the app is dead. Flick it up in the iPhone, see what happens. But well, if they're going to make this a better experience and they get it right, and people start putting a Spotify link on their webpage, then maybe they're going to get some traction here. But
Yeah, I think they're. I mean, I think on a positive note, I think they're definitely heading in a better direction. But I mean, even the Overcast folks are doing the exact same thing, and I think it actually works over there.
so when you get 10, but when you only have 10 of 1,000 shows listed, and you can't find them, well, that's probably about the average, about
I-
10 of every 1,000 shows. Does it really
yeah,
matter to the folks that are listening to this show right now?
yeah,
If they're only cherry picking, 1 out of 100 or 2 out of 100, they're not going to get no
yeah.
bounce on this, not from the rest of those podcasters that they flip the bird to.
Yeah. And then also when this kind of stuff happens, then they're on a time ticker with their leadership team too. They have to show some traction. They have to show some results when you
Yep,
launch something like this.
yep.
You can't just launch something like this and have it fall flat and not face some consequences.
No, you have
These companies, yeah,
you have this thing called testing,
yeah, yeah.
and you take.
There's people that's their full-time job. When I was working at Microsoft,
Well,
all they did
if
was just
Spotify doesn't
hammer the code.
if if
Yeah,
if Spotify
yeah,
doesn't have a QA team, then they have to. My
yeah,
God, as big of a
yeah,
you know who's QA at Raw Voice Blueberry? Me, Mike, Sean.
Well,
We're QA because we
I mean,
don't.
it's more understandable. It's more understandable at smaller companies.
We're small. We can't afford a
Yeah,
QA
yeah,
team. And whose code review?
yeah.
Angelo's code review. And I said, how do you review your own code? He said, well, I let the other devs look at my code. And I'm like, okay, but that's what you do when you're a small company because a QA guy costs $100,000 a year. So
Yeah, yeah,
but and that's why we have beta testers. That's why we have podcasters, and it's why we tell them be careful and back things up. You're definitely you're beta. You're running as a guinea pig for us. So we try to be very cognizant before we release anything. But we've done screw ups too. But um, at least I can self control it and take stuff down if it doesn't work.
yeah.
So
Interesting.
well, I saw your tweet on that, so I wondered what you meant. And being that I look at this and here's the funny part. Look closely at this page. They have an RSS subscribe, which I applaud them. Thank God. They're
Yeah,
still using the PCast tag, which I find
yeah,
curious. Spotify,
yeah,
and then iTunes.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, these guys, I used to host all their shows on Spreaker, so they used to be with Podcast One, and they moved to Spreaker when I left. Um, but now they're not hosting on Spreaker anymore.
So why do they do? Oh, that's interesting. On their website, their player button is not even a player. This is bad. Okay, headgum guys, this is bad. Bad, 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 bad. Because when people land on your page, okay, little podcasters pay attention here if you're watching. So at headgum.com, if you go to
Yeah,
If I Were
it,
You and you look at their beautiful page, and they've got a really nice page, and you click on episode 294 Drunk Texting where there is a player button, you click on that,
yeah.
guess what it does? It takes you to another page. But
That
even
that
worse,
you have to click twice.
you got to
You have to
click
click twice.
twice.
Yeah, yeah. That's not the way to do
Oh,
it.
they're
Yeah,
losing 95% of play opportunities right there.
yeah, yeah. You don't want to force people to have to click
No,
twice.
no, you one click is all you got. You're gonna lucky to keep them on the site more than 3 seconds or 5 seconds to begin with. No, I bet you their on-page player play rates are just horrible.
Yeah.
So, hey, Steve is awake. Steve's in the chat room. He,
Oh,
and Steve says pretty doesn't equal function. You're right. You're right, Steve. It doesn't, does it?
so which Steve are you talking about?
Steve Lee. He's awake.
Oh, Steve Lee. He's awake.
Yes. Now, if you compare this to the new media show, what do? We give you the ability to come on the page, and immediately right there is the video, right there's the audio. You click play, it's playing. You want to subscribe? Yeah, we don't care how you subscribe. We just want you to subscribe. Okay? We don't care what you use.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
platform agnostic. We support Apple Podcasts on Android, email, Google Play, Stitcher, everyone. You know,
yeah.
and
But there's
I can absolutely guarantee our play rate from our page is 10 times higher than theirs.
yeah.
So, yep.
Well, I don't think that their goal here, Todd, is to get plays off of their webpage. I
But
think their goal is
who
to
cares?
drive people to their app, right?
Who cares
It's to
how they?
drive people to their app. I know. I agree with you. It's the you know they want people to go into their app and log into their client experience and experience all the aspects that Spotify has to offer.
I'm a brand new listener to your show. I've come to your website for the very first time. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
this guy's got a podcast. Isn't that cool? I'm in, I've got a beer, been surfing the web, right? We do that, right? We find stuff. I'm over there laying on your page. I'm like, that's cool. let me check this show out for 2 minutes. And I click play,
Yeah.
and it takes you to another page, and you go like, oh, I don't have time for this. You know,
Yeah.
your web page is for new listener discovery. 90% of your audience will never come back and listen to your show again, but a brand new podcast listener may click play and they say, "Oh, this is awesome." And then right there next to the playing podcast is these cute little icons that says subscribe. And
Yeah.
not only that, but right below the player, we put it in their face everywhere. Subscribes it, but you got to give them the opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. You're cool.
Less listeners for them, more for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so
Oh man, what
so
else?
we should contrast this to what the Overcast folks are doing. I don't
Uh,
I
okay.
don't know that I
I
don't
don't.
know that it's easy to find that though.
I don't think they have a one-click subscribe on something, do they? Uh,
I've I've
oh,
seen a landing
what
page
is their what
for
is their what is their website? I go to overcast.com and I land on a Um,
I think it's Overcast
let me show
app.
you. This
I
is
think
what I
it's
land on. They better take some of
I
that
know
money and buy that domain.
Overcast. I think it's overcastapp.com, I believe. Yeah. No. No, it's
Yeah, it is. So
is
all
it okay. Oh,
yeah.
it's overcast.fm.
Oh,
That's what it is.
okay. So anyway, it is what it's just a landing page show. Download our app. That's all it really is. But
But they have show pages though, but they don't link to. Okay, it says search podcasts. There's a search podcast box.
okay, so who should
So
I search? Are we over there? Do we?
uh, I would imagine we're over there. New media
All right.
show
Oh, yep, we are. They got us listed. So let me bring this up in the browser. Okay.
audio and video.
So let's go ahead and look at episode 180. So again, once again, you got to click additionally to get to somewhere. You can get there, but it's 2 clicks, and it auto
Yep.
played. Naughty, 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 naughty. Overcast. You're not supposed to do that.
What are you talking about?
As soon as you load their page, the player starts. As soon as you
Oh, auto start. Yeah,
auto
yeah, yeah,
start.
yeah.
Yep, naughty,
Yeah, I
naughty,
had it do.
naughty.
Yeah, I had it do that to me too.
You're not supposed to do that, Overcast. That inflates numbers.
And also, it just to mention here, they have our video show listed in here,
Mm-hmm.
and I click play. It just plays the audio. It doesn't play the video.
Okay. So
So
you,
they're doing a little magic on that
yeah.
to
So
pull the audio.
we're giving too much consulting here, Rob.
I thought this stuff was like common sense. So I think what they're thinking though, Todd, is that when a person does that double click situation, maybe what like with the If I Were You show, if you click on that play button on their homepage
Mm-hmm.
for each of the shows, that's like a play button. It should auto start
It should
on the next page, right?
right, right. And but this should not. This should not
This
auto
because
start.
it doesn't have a play
No, no.
type of button here. I mean, if they had a play button on each of the episodes listed here, it maybe it would make more sense. Though it would be even better if it just played right here. But they
Here's
want people to go to a second page is what they want people to do.
here's something they do like that they do. This podcast, the podcast and artwork embedded in this page are from geeknewscentral.com, which is a property of its owner, not affiliated or endorsed with Overcast. Overcast is in the copyright info. So they do make a disclaimer. And then they do something smart too. A lot of people complain that all these directories don't contain all the links um, to basically what's in the original show notes. So if we go back and like let's load Geek News Central up. And my latest episode, there's all the links. So what happens is a syndicator like Overcast and like us at our directory at Blueberry, if you syndicate in all of those links, in about 2 days your site's going to be blacklisted because what
Yeah.
happens is people are linking to stupid stuff on their websites and you get flagged and you're an originator, so you just can't do it. You can't carry over those hyperlinks, and a lot of people complain. We get that at least once a week. I'm on your directory, but none of my links are working, and you have to tell them we can't pull in the links, just because if you've linked to something that is a site that's blacklisted, then our whole domain goes down. So, well, not that goes down, but
Yeah.
emails affected, everything. So, again, I'm giving consulting stuff out here for people that are thinking about building a directory. Um,
Well, it's kind of common sense stuff.
yeah.
And if you go to Todd, go to podcast1.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the same thing over there. They're doing a play icon
Well,
on their front page. You
here's
click on the
okay.
play
Here's
icon.
something interesting. This is how podcast one's loading. Is it podcast one word or is it podcast dash one? Oh, it finally loaded.
It's
Oh, that
it's just so much graphics. There's just so much graphics on the
this
page.
oh that I would have left already if I wasn't waiting because that is
Yeah.
just he's getting hammered on Google by page performance. All right, so what am I supposed to do here? Want me to click on? Let's click on this the Steve Austin
Well,
show. So we'll load his
let's
up.
say it's a play button. There's a play button, right?
Yep,
And so it's another
and
example
it
of it.
plays.
Okay, okay, it did do an autoplay.
No,
Okay.
it didn't do an autoplay, but I didn't click.
Oh, you had to click it twice?
Hang on here. Let me click on. See, okay. I only clicked on the listing, so let's click on the play button this time. Yeah, you have to click it twice still.
Yeah.
It didn't autoplay.
Okay.
So okay, that's fine. Better. No autoplay is better than autoplay.
And then there's no the only place to subscribe that it lists here is Apple Podcasts, and that's in a drop down.
Oh, so okay, let me look for it. All right, I'm a brand new listener. I want to subscribe. Yeah, I got to do a pull
So it's
down.
in the
Yeah, only Apple Podcasts.
yeah.
They're okay. So they're giving up. There's no way for an Android user to subscribe over here. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
Norm, come on. You need to kick your people in the ass. What is wrong? You're giving up 50%, dude.
Well, yeah.
Oh, this frustrates me when all right, any podcasters listen to the show, should we come to your site? Let's have some fun.
Wow. I just noticed that the most recent episode of the Adam Carolla show is 2 hours and 23 minutes.
His show's normally pretty long, right?
I didn't think it was that long though. So that must be a pretty recent phenomenon for him.
Yeah. So let me go
But
over.
he's been doing that for a while now. He's been doing it. I mean, all this month he's like 2 hours.
Yeah. All right. So now what I'm going to show you guys is the Podfathers page. So let's have fun with the Podfather here. So Podfather, this is his no agenda show. So what do we got?
Mr. Adam
This is
Curry.
Mr. Man
Mr.
Curry.
Adam Curry.
Players
Mr.
right at the top. He
Yeah.
uses a non-branded, non-commercial, standard generic player, which is cool. He's got iTunes, RSS, BitTorrent. He's got listen to the stream live, join the chat room. So he doesn't have a way to subscribe on Android either, unless people just use the RSS feed.
So what's his website address?
It's noagendashow.com.
No agenda show. Okay, show.com. Okay.
and he only has the latest episode on the front page, which is curious too. So there's it's just amazing. There's 25 different ways to, and his show's 3 hours, 4 minutes, and 36 seconds. Number 968. I'll be listening to that today on the airplane.
Well, yeah, he's the only one I've seen in a long time that's still using BitTorrent.
Yeah, I quit using BitTorrent years ago.
Yeah, I
So,
did too.
but Adam's a geek. He loves doing pushing the
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. I don't know why you need BitTorrent these days, but I don't, that's just me.
we've got a player here. So let me go to medical school hq.com. This is Ryan Gray's site. Did I type it in right? Oh, .net. Hopefully we don't load some adult website here. Medicalschoolhq.net. All right, so we're on his. Let me go here. Here's his page. Oh, strike one. As a rule, if I go to a website and I have been here for the very first time and I get a pop up on a web page asking me to enter my email address, I leave the page immediately. That's my rule, personal rule. If I come to a
Yeah,
website
yeah,
and they ask me for info immediately,
yeah.
I leave because the way I feel, Ryan, is that you're not respectful of me to figure out who you are first before you pitch me to sign up for something. That's that's my there's blood in the water there. So, but he does have a ability to play right on the website. It's got a player here predominantly where people can play. It's got a podcast link. Subscribe. Let's click on the podcast link and see if it takes me. Oh, it doesn't take me to a page. It's just
Actually, it plays it.
it's just a drop down. Oh, okay. Subscribe to the pre. Okay, so let's click on this. Who are you hosting with? Here's one thing everyone needs to really understand. If you're got a major site and you are um, your host is not having performance on page loads, you really need to look at that host and really consider going somewhere. You're getting destroyed. I've clicked on it and it's let me make sure it's not my connection. Let me go over here and load on a different article. So if you have a web host and it is not, if it doesn't, if it, because I clicked on subscribe to the pre-med years, error establishing a database connection. You have this is a WordPress host that you need to really look at. That is, they do not have enough resources for your show. Yeah, this is sorry, Ryan. You need to talk to your host because this is a problem that some podcasters do, and I don't know how much Ryan's paying for his WordPress hosting, but this is one of the reasons why Rob, why we launched PowerPress sites, is we found a lot of podcasters were, on host that they don't allocate very many resources to a shared podcasting site, and
Yeah,
some do, some
yeah,
don't. But when you see a database error on a website, that's generally purely a web host performance issue.
yeah.
You're on a private VPS, something going on the last week. Yeah, switching to WP Engine. They're a good choice. WP Engine rules. You're going to pay $80 a month with them. but you've got a pretty big operation, so you need to move. Um, every web host has troubles from time to time, but when you see that database drop out like that, and I'll be honest, I've had it happen on my site, but guess what it was? My site was growing, my traffic was
Yeah.
up. Most people don't know, and I've talked about this a little bit. This site gets 200,000 hits a day just from Google alone, up to 200,000 hits just from Google web search traffic. And you
Yeah.
know,
That's good.
in
That's good.
in
Yeah.
when someone comes to the site, so you really got seconds your web ranking in Google is really they apply a score on how long it takes your web page to load. So here's the Podcast Legends site. I just clicked on it. A little slower. So and it also helps if you're cached too. If the page is cached, so back to the Gadget Professor almost instantly. And this is a critical piece of if you're gonna it's I talked yesterday heavily about your brand, but a $295 a month web hosting account, and Ryan, I'm not saying that's what you're on. A $295 a month web hosting account is really concern. Well, if you have a small show and no traffic, it's probably okay. But
Hmm.
if you have a little bit of an audience, you need to be spend $10, $12 on a host per month and get that performance you need so that those pages are snappy.
So Todd, I went to the Player FM site too. If you go to player.fm,
Okay.
I, you can see a bunch of podcasts listed there. I think maybe we're in that too. I'm not sure. I have to do a search.
All right. So I'm on the player.fm site. And there's a discover link here.
Go go to yeah go to one of the categories in there.
Let's
Okay,
go. Let's go to tech.
we're listed in Player FM.
Uh huh.
We've got 18 subscribers to
Uh
this
huh.
show.
Over there, they've never reported that
Yeah.
back to us.
Uh huh.
Okay.
Yeah. So it looks like they have what all of our episodes. It looks like they, um, yeah.
So I
So you can
just
click play.
I just searched for it,
Yeah.
and you click play,
There
and
we
it
are.
plays immediately. Okay.
Yeah.
Good experience. Of course, they don't want you to subscribe any other way besides use the Player FM, which I
Yeah.
understand.
Start listening to the new media show on Google Play. They have a link to that here
Oh,
up in the upper right hand corner.
so let's click on that and see what happens. Oh, it takes you to some podcast.
Landing page.
It takes you to the
Oh,
it takes you to their app,
to their
podcast player.
app.
Yeah, it takes you to their app.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's not very specific to the app. So I wonder if you download the app, if it will load the media show into it after you've downloaded it.
Let me check something. I don't know if they support. I'm looking to see if they're on our support list. Subscribe on Android.com. Podcast Addict, Podcast Republic, Simple Podcatcher, Podcatcher Deluxe, Video Podcatcher, Beyond Pod, Podkicker, Player FM. So Player FM supports the one-click subscribe on Android. So um, if you have the Player FM app loaded and you have subscribe on Android on your website and you click that, the Player FM app will load. So see the connections
Okay.
here, folks, on how this works. So someone may not know about your show at all. Come to your website, click subscribe on Android, because they've got the Player FM app loaded, boom, it loads your show, subscribed, you've got a new listener. So if you don't have a way for people to subscribe on Android on your website,
Yeah, I mean, Todd, we're, I mean, even Spreaker is kind of not doing that great with this stuff too. I know you pointed that out before, but if you go to SpreakerLiveshow.com, you can see that. Um, I have a bunch of links in there
so,
that I've
so,
added.
so let me ask you a question. Spreaker Live. Yeah, I
Liveshow.com.
did show live. That's dumb. So here's a question. Where do you think what Spreaker Live? Oh, not lives. Oh, there. Okay, there we go. Oh, it does a
Liveshow.com.
redirect.
Yeah.
You don't have that mapped, Rob.
Yeah. I know I don't.
Okay,
It's just a
so
redirect.
we've got download on the App Store, Google Play, because you guys have an app, so you're trying to get people to use the Spreaker
Yeah.
app.
Yep.
Play, Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus. There's an RSS feed. There's no iTunes link in here.
Yeah, there is.
Oh,
Down on the contact area. So it's under
oh, yeah.
iTunes right there.
Subscribe. Okay, there it
I know
is.
it's a little buried. It's a little buried,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
there's no icon. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
See, what else? See more. Okay, just talks about the show. So, okay, I have to put you on the spot. So, what is the problem with no one wanting to implement subscribe on Android? We've give this to the community. We kept it non-branded. We made it so that listeners can subscribe on shows with one click. Your Spreaker app, all you have to do is add that code, and if they have the Spreaker app loaded in Android, the second they
I
click on that, the
I agree with
Spreaker
you,
app
Todd.
will
I'm
load.
not the engineer, so yeah, I'm not the engineer, so I've sent them all that
Francesco,
stuff, and they.
Francesco, what
I know.
is the problem?
Yeah. Yeah. It's because they didn't write it. I guess is the only
It's
thing I
so
can think of.
what?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
We're getting
Yeah.
hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of click throughs on that a week.
Yeah, I know you are, Todd. I
Okay.
agree with. I
Oh.
agree with you 100%. Yeah.
Oh. We're
I'll
not
I'll
perfect.
I'll raise I'll I'll raise the topic again here and see if we can get it pushed through. Yeah.
So, and just so everybody knows too, you know, and we're not perfect. So let's go over there and let's do an analysis of Blueberry. All right, so I'll let you be the judge, Rob. You can you can have fun with us.
Uh,
Uh,
no, I'm sure you guys are doing a good job with that.
well, I don't know if we are or not. So that's the question. So again, our directory is not our primary focus, but let's go new media show and new media show audio. There it is. All right, so let me
Yeah,
bring
mine's
that.
still loading here.
Okay, so anyway, let me look at what happens when we click the player button. Did it auto start? It auto started. I was holding my breath. I really was. I was holding my breath. I'm like, please, Jesus, let it load, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then, so I don't know. I think if our approach is pretty minimal, you know.
Wow, the search results. I mean, just typing in new media show, the first search result that comes up is new media Europe show, not
Yeah,
the new media show.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Lena is responsible for the search engine. So all complaints about the search engine go to her. But she's done a pretty good job on it. So let me just type in geek, and we'll see what we get with geek. And let's do geek news.
Okay, Todd, you don't link over to Google Play Music here.
Uh-huh. Oh boy. What did you say, Rob?
I know you're missing out on so much,
Oh,
right?
on the link to Google Play Music. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And here's the thing. Let's be honest. We're trying to give people a good a good listening experience, right? And in trying to give listeners the ability to um, subscribe to shows. That's what we want. We want them to listen or to subscribe, right? The listening experience at Google Play is horrendous. You're sending them over there to a black hole.
But you can actually listen. That's
Okay,
the thing.
okay. So
So let me ask you a question about your subscribe on Android.
sure.
Is there a way because I guess you're being very specific. You're saying subscribe on Android mobile, but you're not um, like maybe so when a person clicks on it on the web,
Oh,
maybe
then
they're not on their
it definitely
mobile device.
it definitely takes them to a web page. It takes them to this page right here. If they
But
click on
there's
it,
no way to get
no,
to
there's
Google Play.
no, there's not
Yeah,
at that point.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
yeah. Ultimately, and and this can be confusing for sure. But ultimately, what we try to do here is,
It's a mobile
yeah,
focus.
we try to tell them subscribe to your favorite podcast with your Android device. We say if you're a listener, if the listener has a one-click support app on their app will load automatically. Podcasters get your embed, add it, and then we give them the ability to install the basically an app that supports one-click subscribe on Android. So I think we're up to what is it? 4, 8, 12, 14 apps, 14 Android.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I see
yeah,
14 apps. Yeah.
yeah, 14 apps. And then if devs want to know how it works, there's a section for devs. And here's the beauty of this. This is the code they have to add to their app. Just that, a cut and paste, and it's done. It's a less than 15-minute implementation for any Android app developer. And this, and here's, if I was, to be honest with you, if I was working over at Spotify, like how can we get more people to come into our system? Well, if they listen for the subscribe on Android, it'd look pretty embarrassing when they clicked and the show wasn't listed on Spotify, so they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So that's the risk. You have to have your app has to support all shows, and maybe that's why your guys can't. Well, you could put it for your shows.
Mm,
Anyway, it's
yeah.
I think what we this has been something I've been harping about for what 3 4 years now is we're just trying to build more listeners. That's the only goal.
Yeah.
More subscribers on these platforms.
So what is Libsyn doing here? That's
Um,
another question here. Let's see.
I don't know if they actually have a link to a directory. I think they've got a link to some. If you go to their
I thought they had
homepage,
like almost like I thought they had a player or a show page that they offer.
if it
I'm not sure how you get to
is,
them
let
though.
me look and see if there's something on here. Again, they're not a directory per se. Oh, yeah,
But
yeah, I
I
don't.
thought they had pages though,
So,
but their pages kind of double as their RSS feeds too, right?
no, they have
I
they
thought so.
well, they went through and did a change and kind of, to be honest with you, it was 10 years overdue. They updated their podcasters landing pages. So there's a
That's
lot
right.
of
It's a landing page is
it's a
all it is.
landing
Yeah.
page, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's also got the hyperlinks in it. So, the and it's something dot libsyn the dot. I don't think it's actually on libsyn.com. It's an actual link, but
Yeah.
the challenge too, and something I keep bringing up quietly, is that if you have your own .com and you're posting at Libsyn and you have that landing page enabled, and if you post over there first, um, Google can get confused if there's a double post of the same content. So, it's an SEO concern of mine, and some podcasters have figured that out. But having a double post of the same exact information usually flags Google to say, is this a person that's providing and trying to work the system and get more, and they don't necessarily look favorably upon that.
Okay, Todd, let's talk about NPR. Let's go to npr.org/. // podcasts and see what they're doing.
Oh, we're gonna have fun over here. If it hasn't changed since the last time I've been over there. All right, so let me bring that up. Okay, so we've got friend Cheska Ramsey is on top. You can listen right there immediately. What's a little button here for? What does that do?
Does it
Download.
actually play? Does it actually play anything?
Let me look. It it does. It starts playing.
It does. It
It
does start
does.
playing.
So let me go and listen. Look at a. Let's go to Planet Money. We'll, and load
Hmm.
their page. There's a subscribe, but it's a pull down. Listen on NPR One, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and RSS Link. So they're only supporting Android on Google Play Music
Yeah.
and Stitcher, I guess, if people want to listen on Stitcher on the Android app for Stitcher. They
Yeah.
got,
It's kind of like what I did on my page too. I linked to the Google Play.
but here's
So
something weird.
yeah.
Oh, wait, hold up. All right, so let's look at this again. I load the page. What's missing? Oh, it's down here. Okay, they do have a play button a little bit further down.
Yeah. With each episode. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's better. It's better than what it was.
Yeah.
And I like the ability on the embed. We have that feature available too. Anyone that's using uh, PowerPress, they can listener can take an embed of the episode, and we have a fair amount of people that actually share. They cross post
Well,
that player embed.
that's a very compact little display window for
It
the
is.
embed.
It is. So you get this bit. Well, let me look at what it. I'm sure it expands. It has to. So let me click on it. Im,
I
im,
don't think so.
embed.
It's tiny.
Oh, it is. It's
It's
tiny.
tiny.
But when you do click it, it copies the whole thing. So it is smart
Oh, it
enough.
does. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's showing as larger on your screen than on mine. Of course, I pulled my browser.
yeah, and I've got
No,
it.
it's
And I've got my
pretty
browser
small.
kind of squinched right now to make sure it fits on the screen fine. So
Yeah.
different approaches, but my true belief is that every click you make someone do is a lost. Because if I land on this Planet Money site, I'm like, this is cool. If I see the click there to subscribe on iTunes, I'm just going to hit it. If I have to do another action, every time you make someone do an additional action to subscribe on something, it's just one more chance you're going to lose them. Because first of all, they here's my concern. If I had this page, I'd have subscribe links below each of these listings because people are going to come to
Yeah.
the NPR podcast page. Oh, this is cool. Wow, I can listen to this show, and let me find out some more information. This is click two. Okay, I'm in here now. Wow, Planet Money. Oh, I can play an episode, and I got to do 3 clicks to subscribe, or 3 actions. I guess that's the better word. I don't know. Maybe in somebody that's a web design person is going to say, Todd, you don't know what you're talking about. But I'm really truly believe that every time you make someone click, now yeah, that does link to their
Todd,
iTunes listing. Go ahead.
Todd, go to the link that says listen to the NPR One app.
All right. So then we
Um, it,
load.
and that loads a whole nother player page experience.
What?
Yeah.
Shouldn't have that took
So
you to their app?
it probably does if you're loading that page on a mobile device, but on the web it takes you to an actual
Oh,
place where you
okay.
can listen, which
All right.
is exactly what we were hoping that
Right.
these other guys were going to do,
I
right?
need my
Like
mobile.
Spotify.
I need my mobile phone. It's on the charger in the bedroom right now. So, hmm.
Yeah.
So they do have a link to get the app, which takes
Yep.
you to nice page. So,
And you can sign in, you can get the app, you can explore other pieces, and it says read a story. So there must be an article that's associated with that Oh no, it takes you
Oh, it
back to
takes you
the
back.
episode.
Yeah, it takes you back to the. That's funny. Well, they do. That's smart
So
though. They're linking back to the homepage of the show. So,
yeah,
did you guys see how fast that page loaded? Let me show you. That was
that was fast.
it was fast. Let me go back to the top level.
Well, it's really light. That's why there's not a lot of graphics on it. It's
So
actually a pretty light page.
so the initial load. Well, now we'll go over to that listen on NPR one, and we're loading that, and then we're gonna go click back to. Oh, they got a graphic problem there. Go back to read the story. Boom. Yeah, because it already cached too. Cached the image. It load really fast.
Well. Plus, I noticed, Todd, that when you scroll down the screen, it took another chunk of episodes, so it actually delayed the download. So initially it downloaded, it looked like about 10 episodes,
Ah,
and then when you started to scroll down, that's when it triggered the download of
yeah,
more
that's smart.
episodes.
Smart.
So yes, so that's how they got that optimization to get the fast load. Yeah.
So all this stuff is important, and it's all about about making Google love you. So, and
Yeah.
I like what the Player FM guys are doing. They're doing a nice job here,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, you play right at the top of the page.
yep, and and also right there on the episode. So if you want to
Yeah.
listen to a different episode, you can. So they've done a nice job. I don't particularly care for the life hacker testing. I don't need these reviews here, but they're trying to get people to engage. Oh, look at that! Interesting. They've got the feed listed as a companion show to the new media show.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, we've spent some time here talking about sites. I'm sure we're gonna get hate mail now. You think you're
it's
so
it's it's
smart.
it's
You're so
it's
snobby.
constructive feedback. It's constructive
You're
feedback.
so
Yeah.
snobby. You think you know everything. And this is what that's the email I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing. You need to clean up your own house. And we do. And if you see something we need to clean up, please tell us.
Yeah. We're
We're not perfect. None of us are.
totally we're totally equal opportunity bashers. So bash us, we'll bash you. Everybody's happy. We're good.
Back
So
in the day, remember how it used to be so decisive if you had a PC or a Mac? The Mac people would look down on the PC people, and the PC people would like, there'd be that wrinkle of the nose, right? And it was
yeah, is
really,
that going on now with
mm,
Android and iOS now?
I
I
don't
mean, is
think,
it like cooler to be
I don't,
on one side or the other these days?
I don't think
I'm not sure.
so. I don't think anybody cares,
Or
to be
do
honest
people
with
just
you.
don't care anymore?
No, no one cares. And when you see a cool phone, you're like, "Can I see your phone?" That's what I do now because I'm iPhone centric. So I'm like, if I see a cool, there's a new Sony phone out that's it's beautiful. And I must admit, the Samsung Galaxy S8 is just whoa, it's pretty sexy too. So, but when it comes to computers, I used to be a heavy PC user, and then when I bought my first Mac, that was a big deal on my show. Like, oh my God, he bought a Mac. He's went to the dark side, right? And so now I go, I'm kind of bi when it comes to computers. I have, Mac, Windows, Windows, Mac. So it's I go both ways when it comes to PCs, but
Sure.
um, I think that we've gone beyond like these wars of where we're like a PC guy or a Mac guy, and they're machines right now. They just get a job done, and this is what we have to really look at in the podcasting space. These are just machines. These are just devices. These are tools for people to consume content, and we have to make it. We don't care how they listen. All right, we don't, as long as they listen. I don't care if they're on an old BlackBerry or if they're on a brand new Android or if they're on a $69 burner phone. I want them to be able to easily get and listen to my show and being equal opportunity for all listeners to get content. And if it's podcasters, we really have to make sure we're embracing that because that's what it's really all about. Is we just want them to listen. We don't care. I don't care where my podcast is syndicated. I'm happy it's over here in Player.fm. I'm happy it's there because if we got 18 subscribers over there, guess what, Rob? If they weren't in business, we wouldn't have 18 subscribers.
Yeah.
And but we don't ever promote Player.fm. That's just someone that uses it that listens to this show. So the 18
Yeah.
subscribers to Player.fm, thank you. We don't care how you've gotten here, as long as you've gotten here.
Yeah, exactly. Hey Todd, I saw an article that appeared in Forbes. Actually, it's linked to from the homepage of Pod to Pod. The headline of this article: Here's exactly how you build a seven-figure podcast. I'm sure you'll enjoy this one.
Oh, what? Okay, I'm on Pod to Pod. It's,
It,
what's the name? What's
yeah,
the
here's he, yeah,
uh,
it's
uh,
a Forbes article
oh my God.
written by Jay Kim, and it's called "Here's Exactly How You Build a Seven-Figure Podcast."
All right, I'm on Pod to Pod, and I don't see the.
Okay, scroll down.
Yeah. Oh, you got to lead me like a little child here. Okay, so.
Yes,
Um,
it's a Forbes article.
yeah, I see one here. How business can feed your. Okay, that's not it.
Now, here's exactly how to build a seven-figure podcast.
I don't see it.
Really? Let's see here. Let me count.
I'm probably. It's what.
It's from September 28th.
Okay, okay, okay.
It's right above the anchor raises 10 million.
Oh, duh. You know something? You know when you're asking your wife, "Where's my keys?"
They're right behind you on the counter
or
where
or,
you
or
put
like
them
they,
30
they, they,
seconds
they
ago.
yeah they point at right down there. Who wrote this? Jay Kim. I wonder who he
Jay
is.
Kim. I have no idea.
He
Full
he
bio.
starts
Let's check
quoting Gary Vaynerchuk immediately.
Okay, he's the host of the Jay Kim Show. Okay.
Mm,
Hong Kong's first dedicated podcast on the entrepreneurship and investing in Asia. That's who he is.
so I just searched for Jay Kim podcast. Wait a minute. And okay, so let's go over to Jay Kim's website, Mr. Seven Figure. Work with Jay. I help outsiders become insiders at Asia's most profitable deals. Learn how you can profit immediately from Asia's most undeniable trends. He's got a podcast? Oh, he's got it down here. He's got Gary
Boy,
Vaynerchuk.
that's link bait. I like hot Asian companies.
Oh,
Wow.
he's just. So let me look and see. Did he actually do an interview with Gary Vaynerchuk?
I don't know. I can't tell. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So this is his
It looks like
page.
he did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did one with James Altucher and Seth Godin, it looks like.
Yep. So he's using a SoundCloud player. It looks like. Is that SoundCloud or something else? No, it's something else.
Let's see here. Click to get future interviews. Let's see. I'm not even seeing a player on this page. Oh yeah, that's SoundCloud.
Yeah. And then let's look at the podcast here. So he's
But
done.
there's no branding on it on that player though. That's interesting.
No, it's not a SoundCloud. It's not a SoundCloud
It's
player.
not,
It's some.
but it looks like
He's
it.
hosting with Libsyn, so it's some other third party
It's
player. I don't know who it is.
yeah, it's a total ripoff on SoundCloud.
So, well, not completely. The SoundCloud logo is not on there, and the wiggly line doesn't really do anything. It's the same exact wiggly line from episode to episode.
Yeah.
So, same thing, copy and paste. It's got a nice
Yeah.
website. But when I see a website like this, I'm all into masterminds and that kind of stuff, right,
Yeah.
Rob? I'm real big fan of that. Um,
Pat
yeah.
Pat Flynn is here too. Yeah.
So
Looks like.
7 figures, huh? Okay. I can tell what really works to build a 6-figure podcast. Listen to the episode I did, or the segment I did on social media strategies on yesterday with the folks at International Podcast Day, and then you'll find out how you really truly can build a 6-figure podcast. But I don't call it that. Well, I he's definitely trying to get some attention, so he writes an article like that. It's all about capturing the headline, and Rob, we fell right into it because guess what we did?
We did.
Look at
We
that
did.
headline.
Yes.
So we're at the bottom of the hour, and
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I was kind of scanning the article.
yeah,
And it says one of the largest deterrents to potential podcasters is the notion that once you start, you can never stop. It's quite a formidable notion that causes many hopefuls to never get off the ground. So I found myself. I myself was daunted at first when I thought about how I would have to produce an episode every single week for the rest of my life. Okay. Is that the message that we've been getting out there, that you have to produce an episode for the rest of your life?
no,
Who said that?
no one. Now, okay, so think people's lives change, right? And what did we do here? We changed
Yeah,
this show on we did a command decision, 30 seconds. We
I've
changed this show from the social media,
I've
from this Saturday morning tech show to the new media show.
I've pod faded like 5 times in my life. It's okay.
Yeah, I've got a show that's still active that I swear to God isn't pod faded, but I haven't done an episode in a while. I just haven't gotten around to doing another episode.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. If if it's not working, if you don't have time for it anymore, it's okay.
Yeah,
Just do something else.
but
Nobody's forcing you to do this.
he's basically saying you only have to do some episodes with some key people to build your brand, to get your engagement and authority built up so that you can have a 7-figure podcast. This is the key. It's like there's this secret formula to becoming this super entrepreneur and being the
Oh
man
yeah,
that everyone calls.
yes.
That crap just drives me stupid, dumb, crazy.
And the secret here, John Lee Dumas says, is batch processing.
Okay, so 97.8% of podcasters can afford to sit down on a Monday and record 7 episodes in a row.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody has time to do that.
If you're full time, you can do that. If you have an
Yeah.
assistant, if you have someone scheduling everything, you can do that. But most of us are working. We're ball and chain to our employer. And we have to go earn a
And
living to feed our
yeah,
families.
and actually, you don't really want to do that. Actually, honestly, because you're losing connection with your audience by doing that.
Yeah.
Because if you batch produce episodes, you're not learning from each episode that you do. You're basically you're locking yourself into a certain knowledge base for those episodes, and you're not learning from them.
Well, John Lee Dumas has a formula.
Each week you do an episode. Yeah, no,
And it,
it's just an interview formula. There's nothing magical about it.
and he asks the same exact questions. How
Yeah, yeah.
you know
So anyway, I mean, take it for what it is. It's not your secret to a 7-figure income. Let's put it that way. Just because you do 5 episodes, or you do an episode every day for the entire year, that's not going to guarantee you're going to be
do
making seven
do
figures.
real
Sorry.
we're talking tongue in cheek on this, but do real people actually believe those kinds of headlines? Does
Yeah,
who
this guy does. This
okay,
guy
he
does.
does, but does people, when they see a headline like this, the people listening to this show, do you go like, oh, I gotta read this? And I think the most people, when they read that headline, they're gonna go, what is he trying to sell me? That's maybe I'm too curmudgeon in here, but
Well, I mean, Todd, I mean, is it? I mean, let's be honest. Is it a good strategy to do an episode every day?
No, you're not going to survive.
I mean, even ideally. So let's say that you're working full time. Is it smart to do an episode every day?
No, I don't. y- Okay, you get unless you have an extraordinary amount of talent, you can get audience fatigue.
Yeah, I I mean I've worked with shows that do shows every day. I work with the Rich Eisen show. I work with Dan Patrick. I worked with these big radio hosts that do 2 hours a day or whatever, and they pick up regular audience. But
Well, they
they
do.
also have they're a big media company behind them too.
That's
They're
they
they're getting paid full time to do that,
and they have a
and
support
it's
staff.
and from what I see, I don't think that they would be picking up any more audience by doing it daily versus doing it every other day or once a week.
It's for the average podcaster. It's not sustainable. Andy McCaskey did slash dot review, produced it every day until he damn near collapsed.
Yeah,
And then he tried to roll back, but he burnt him. He had Rob. He had a six-figure podcast, a straight up in the
yeah,
early days. Six-figure podcast was rocking it, and he could not sustain it.
yeah.
He was truly
I mean,
making six
I,
figures. I was writing the checks.
I mean, I have to give a lot of props to those radio guys that are able to do 2 or 3 hours a day every day.
Okay, but
Doing,
they are there with a
but
staff, a team. They have
staff that's supporting them, yes.
right,
They don't have to do all of the
no
encoding,
prep.
the
Well, they did.
production,
Nope,
the distribution,
nope,
the marketing,
nope.
and that's the key difference.
Yeah,
And
the majority of those
I
guys
think
come in.
Yeah,
Most majority of those
John
guys
Lee Dumas has,
some help
yeah,
too.
that's what I was gonna say. I think John Lee Dumas also has help with his show.
Yeah,
I
he
would
has.
think.
I think he's got a
I don't know
VA
for
or
sure,
whatever.
but
But
yeah,
yeah, 2 days a week for me is with my regular show is about all I can do, and still have a life and do this show on Saturday mornings. It,
yeah.
and
I mean, you're trying to run a company and
right.
all that stuff too.
Yep.
But if that's all that you're doing, maybe you can do it. I don't know, but
It,
batch processing, I'm not sure is always the answer.
a daily show with a support team and being able to kick out some great content. Yeah, I'd love to be able to do that. Show up, do 45 minutes of prep before the show, get ready and rock and roll, do 2 hours. Sign me up. But when I get done in 2 hours, I want to walk away, and I don't want to have
Yeah.
to do anything else.
Hey Todd, go to eofire.com. Let's let's see
Okay.
what John Lee is doing off of his own website. It might be it might be interesting. I'm looking at it right now, and I think he is doing.
Immediately, I'm being asked to sign up for something.
Oh, I didn't get asked.
Yeah, as soon
It's
as I
eofire.com. Okay,
so
yeah, that's it.
August income $237,193.
Yeah,
Uh, his site's nice. I mean, if you're making
John's
$237,000 a
yeah,
month, you better have a damn good website. Another
John's
pop
been
up.
on this show before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
another.
John's been on this show
Yeah,
before. If you go back and look in the archives.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was a fun one. It's so
yeah.
it's all about funnels, sales. You know, this is a business for John, so he does what he does.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
But
But he does do a good job at the very top of the page. He links to all of the places to get a show.
yeah, of course, because he's this is it. That's the start of his funnel.
Yeah, yep.
And when I
So if you click on that Spotify link, I wonder where it goes. It probably goes to the same place that all those other ones were going.
now goes to a different page, it looks different. Oh, this looks oh, it's because oh, that's weird. It's the same, but there's a player on the bottom. That one worked. There's a player on the bottom of the
Really?
page.
Let's see.
Does it
I'm
play?
I'm loading it right now too.
There's something he did. I don't know what. That's different.
No,
It played
I
for
went to a
me.
different page, Todd.
Yeah, me too. This is, but it's open.spotify.com show. This is a different landing page. This is what should happen for those
No,
other guys.
okay, well, your page has got a black background. Oh, no, you're loading it in the app, Todd.
No, I'm on a browser. So let me
Are
close
you sure?
this. I'm clicking here on Spotify. It loads a new browser tab. This is the experience it should be. This looks
Well,
fine.
okay, but Todd, okay, I just clicked on it. I go to a different page than you do.
Huh? Are you in
Yeah,
Chrome or what are you in?
I'm in Chrome.
Oh,
Yeah, I go to a page that has a gold background.
that's bizarre. Maybe they've got some
Well, I
algorithm
think you're, yeah, but didn't you log in
Oh
to
yeah, I
Spotify
had
earlier?
logged into Spotify earlier. And let me log out. Maybe that was it. All right, so I'm logged out. So now let me try it again.
Now I'll go back and click on it.
Oh, there we are.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not logged into
Ah,
Spotify.
so if you're oh, okay, so oh, another thing. Okay, so there's no place to sign in here. I can't play it now.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't sign in.
And and what happens when you click on the play on
Nothing,
Spotify
nothing.
button?
It doesn't do anything. But if you're signed in, it works the way it should. Oh
Yeah,
my God, they have got a. Oh my God, they got a huge issue over there. They're close. The
they are
action, the,
close. They are close.
the
Yeah,
action that happens when you're signed in actually worked the way I kind of thought it should have.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man, Spotify, sorry.
But you have to be a user that's logged
Right, right, right.
in order to get the proper experience. Um, so anyway, so let's go back to his
We
on fire
we
page again
we
and
need to
click
wrap
on
this soon, Rob.
Stitcher.
We're already over.
Oh, we do. Oh my goodness, I didn't even look at the time.
Yeah, Stitcher takes us to the Stitcher page, and
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
they have a good experience. You can play right there. Boom, start play.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. All right. Yeah, I didn't realize the time.
yeah,
Time really got
it's we
time
did.
really got away from us.
We're into this. So you guys gonna have to watch the video on this one, obviously, because we're having fun with this, and we're we're being semi-serious, semi-fun here, but let's keep some of these
We're poking people here a little bit.
just a little. All we want is all we want is the podcast space to grow. We don't care how they listen, as long as they get there.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
end. That's the end goal. Well, I'm literally I'm gonna have to kick this video fast because I have to go to the airport and
Okay.
uh and
Fly
fly.
and fly.
So
Fly like a
next
bird.
next
All
weekend
right.
we will be remote, and we'll have to do it on your platform, Rob, because I'll be dialing in next week. So next Saturday show
Okay.
we have to do from
Okay. Let's
places
do it on
unknown.
Spreaker.
Yeah.
Yep. Do it on Spreaker. So
Everyone,
okay.
you can reach me, Todd at blueberry.com, or follow me on Twitter at Geek News. Of course, we want you to subscribe to this show. Go to newmediashow.com and subscribe on Android or on iTunes. Feel free to do so. But Rob,
You can find me Rob at robgreenlee.com or Rob at Spreaker.com, and you can go to obviously robgreenlee.com to catch me over there. Get links over to my Spreaker live show, and then you can actually watch some new media shows over there too. So, but anyway, so we'll be back next Saturday. Todd, is
yep,
that right?
next Saturday.
Okay, and it'll just be live audio next week.
Yep. Everyone, thanks for being here. We'll see you next time on the New Media Show. Everyone, take care. Bye bye.
Thanks.